So hello, I'm going to show you today how to make a little cupcake topper in the shape of a handbag. The reason I've decided to make this tutorial is because I've just been looking for a tutorial myself of how to make it, and I can't find anything, so I'm going to do a tutorial for you to try and help you guys that are just starting out like myself. So what you're going to need is your accent colour, or the main colour of your handbag, and then I am accenting mine with white fondant. And the other tools that you're going to need is I'm using a round cutter. Basically, all depends on what size that you want to do your handbag, but I've just mocked this size up just to quickly show you, and you can pretty much see that the diameter of the circle is the diameter of the handbag that we're going to make. Also, you're going to need your fondant polisher just to squash it down, a little bit of icing sugar, and also a fondant rolling pin. So I think that's everything you're going to need. Oh, and a knife. Right, so let's crack on. So what you do, just want to get your main colour all warmed up, and what you want to do then is make get it into a nice ball, and then you want to make a little bit of a sausage, a bit of a fat sausage, again to the size of the diameter that we said we were going to use. And then what I need to do, just put icing sugar, is then just squash it with your fondant polisher. So you can see now we've got sort of an oblong shape, and then just pretty much play with it until you've got the size of the handbag that you want, which is about there. So it's like a rectangular cube. So I'll just leave that to one side for the moment. Now the next thing you want to do is roll out some of your main colour fondant, and then with my cutter, as I said to you before, I've cut out a round circle. And then what we're going to do, this is basically to make the lip for your handbag, is you want to take your knife and cut off the smallest amount from the top, so you get this kind of a shape. I don't know if you can see that. And then that's going to act as your purse flap. So with a bit of glue or water, depending on what you use, just put a tiny bit over the top of your handbag there. Just wet all down there. And then basically just lie your flap onto position on the top, like that. So now you have this kind of a shape. Obviously you want to play with it. I'm trying to fit all this into a short amount of time, so there we go. That's the kind of shape you've got. So now you've got the very basics of your handbag. Now the next thing you need, again with the main colour, is a strip, and what you want to do is cut it obviously to the length that you want, and this bit can be a little bit tricky. Maybe somebody's got better suggestions as to how to do it out there, but I'm not going to stabilise it at all with any tissue, because the fondant will dry quite rapidly. So what you need to do is, you can see how it's naturally started to curve in my fingers. Just wet either side of where you want to connect it, and then just slightly push in place. There you go. And just hold it for a couple of seconds until it's settled and found its level. So now you have this kind of a shape. Now a tiny little embellishment, just because it's the kind of cupcakes I'm doing. I'm taking my accent colour, which in this case is white, straight out the packet, and I'm going to make a tiny little bow, because it just happens to match the shoes that I'm doing. So you want a tiny little piece of white fondant, that big, and just squeeze it in between your fingers until you get like a rectangular shape like this. Now what I'm going to do with my knife is I'm just going to cut some little V's out to make a tiny little bow. So you want to take your pieces out, which I am doing, and you can see that kind of shape. Obviously this isn't quite even, so I'll just trim down one side, a little bit more square. It's a little bit better. Now just want to wet the front part of your purse, just about here. You can put a button or a flower or anything like that you want to put on. It's just that I'm happening to be including bows. There you go. And just sort of lift it up with your paintbrush and place on the front of your handbag. Like so. So there you go, your little bow. Just square that up a little bit. Square that up. Just a little bit better. There we go. And just to finish off the bow, what I do is get tiny, tiny, tiny piece of white. Just run between your fingers. And then just a bit of water again. Just stick that little blob on there to finish it off. Once my handbags have actually dried, I'm going to accent them with some lustre dust and a little bit of sparkle to glitz them up. I'm also at this stage playing with the fact of painting on some little polka dots, but don't know what I'm going to do with that there. But that essentially is how I'm going to do my first cupcake handbags. So thanks for watching. I hope it's been useful to you. Take care. Bye.